Hello, everybody. It's a little weird doing this on video rather than in person, but that's the way things work sometimes. So, welcome to 2022 O'Gorman Boys Golf. I'm head coach Tom Jansa. It's about my seventh year, I think, and I've got a new assistant coach this year, Jenna Sutcliffe. She is a former O'Gorman student, graduated in 2019, and is a three-time state champion during her years at O'Gorman. So we're very excited to have her on board. Um, if you would please fill out the Google form that I sent you in an email, and I'll send it again when I send out this video. Even if you've been on the team, just in case a phone number has changed or an email address or anything like that, it's still nice for me to have the fresh information, shirt size, and all that kind of stuff that's in that Google form. So if you haven't done that, even if you're a returning player, please take a second and do the Google form with all the information. I will send in the email every form that you need. The biggest one, and we're running low on time here, is the physical form. Do have to have the physical form on file with the school by Monday when we start playing. They don't want anybody out doing anything with the team that has not complied with the requirements of the physical. So if you haven't done that yet, it's Wednesday. You have until Monday morning to get that into the activities office of the school. You can also scan it and send it to me, and I can forward it on to the school as well. And then there are just some other odds and ends forms that you might need, both information and things that you need to fill out, and all those will be included in the email that I send out. Included in that is the calendar with the events and practice schedules and things like that. Understand that golf sometimes, of course, there are date changes, and I give weekly updates during the year via email. And if something changes on the calendar, you should have enough time to accommodate that. I do like to email every week. I like to text with players if about anything related to an event, the time that we're leaving, or what uniform we're wearing, or anything like that. I have a Facebook account that I use. I do Twitter as well, and then we also have an app called Band, BAND, and that's a good one because it's just kind of an internal communication module. Some parents have found it nice to post pictures that they've taken at events or communicate about anything related to things that parents do for us, get snacks or treats or things like that. So if you haven't signed up for the Band app, I'll also send that link to get registered for that. Big thing I'm sure everybody is wants to know right away is what is the process for making the team, for qualifying. Those who have are back for multiple years, they've kind of heard this spiel before, but just as a reminder, we've got two teams that we have, the varsity and the JV. We form those teams maybe a little bit differently than some other schools who might just say their varsity is their top 8, and then the JV is their next best 8, regardless of age, and then maybe everybody else is just either not on the team or in some status. Our team is divided mainly as our varsity team being the upperclassmen, or anybody that's younger who has a chance to make the top 6 is on the varsity. And then our JV team is primarily a developmental team composed mainly of 7th and 8th graders. And depending on how many kids are going out, there might be some 9th graders on that team. But generally, we do not have any upperclassmen on the JV team. We need those JV players to be gaining experience and playing in tournaments. So if you've got up into your sophomore year or above, you're either on the varsity, or if we have too many out for that team, we might have to make some cuts at that point in time. 10 is probably the optimal number for each team, but we have gone up to 12 or maybe slightly more depending on the circumstances. So we want to make every effort to have every kid that tries out make one of the teams. But sometimes, due to the numbers, it just isn't. And if we end up, having a team with more than 10 players, those last 2 or 3 or however many players at the end are probably not going to get to play very much. They just have limited opportunities to play in meets, and so those players will mainly just practice, play internally, but they won't get a lot of meet time. And how we then choose who, once we've determined the teams, and this will happen after Thursday's qualifying round. We will hopefully have 4 qualifying rounds in by Thursday. If for whatever reason one or more of them gets washed out because of rain, we may schedule something for Friday, but generally we try just to keep Fridays off. So once those are decided, then it's my job to keep track of the averages, and basically I'm trying to put the best team together for varsity, and so I'm going to play my top 3 or 4 averages, and then the last couple of spots are my choice, or I might have a play-in day for 2 guys that are really close. But in many cases, my biggest decision is who is that 5th or 6th player on the team. It's not usually too much in doubt as to who the top 4 players are, but basically we take usually 6 players to invitationals out of town. We'll play 8 players at the city championships. There's 3 rounds that we play inside, so I'll get some looks at that 5, 6, 7, 8 player in the process of determining the final team for city or state. The JV team's a little bit different. We want to kind of give as many kids as possible the right to play while remaining competitive. So basically, we start with the 6 lowest averages in the first meet, and then we take the low 3 from the previous match, get to play the next match, and then we bring 3 other players in to play with them. So everybody should get a chance to at least play a couple of times, while giving the better averages a lot of competitive experience. So what are our team goals? We have kind of 3 of them based on competition. We've got the city championship, 3 rounds that we play with all the other city schools throughout the course of the year. We've got our Metro Conference Championship, which is the 5 Sioux Falls schools plus Harrisburg and Brandon Valley, and then obviously the state tournament. And we like to have a goal of winning the city and conference championships. We have kind of a good history of that. It's a good goal to set. And by the time we get to state, I take this from my predecessor Rod Garrison. Always had a goal, no matter how good we thought our team was and whether we were favored to win. His goal was a top 3 finish at state. Was a good finish. Golf is a pretty fickle game, and over the course of 2 days and 36 holes and 6 guys, a lot of stuff can happen. We've had some underdog teams that have won, and we've had some teams that are good that didn't finish first at state. So a top 3 finish is great. And having experienced the last this spring with the girls, we finished in 6th place, but we were only 10 shots out of first. It was a very tight field, and so I think even more than the place is just kind of how well we do with compared to the first place team. So I'd say any position that you make in the state tournament that's within 15 or 20 shots of the lead is a successful tournament. That's a very small number of shots over 2 days of competition. So we keep those goals in mind as we go. We shoot for them and we plan for them. And if we don't make them, we evaluate and see what we might need to do to go to the next one. To get your letter, you need to be on the varsity. You need to have played in at least and have your score count in at least 3 matches over the course of the year. And I'll send these lettering requirements out in a document. You also can letter just by being a senior on the team. Our team, golf is a little bit different maybe than some sports. Tennis, we're a little bit like tennis. There's no subbing in. We can't send somebody in like they do in football or basketball or whatever. We choose a 6-person team that goes to state, and they're the only ones that get to play. But everything that we've done up to that point is a team effort. We're all striving to push each other to play better. Everybody on the team knows to make the team, they've got to work hard, and so when we get to state, even though not everybody gets to go and play, we feel like any success that we've had or we will have is goes to everybody on the team. And so we just want to make sure that everybody understands that it's a tough deal. Every year there's always a heated competition for the last 1 or 2 spots, and it comes down to in the last case a coach's decision as to who that 6th player is. So, but we know that everybody on the team has contributed to the success that we have. As far as what you can expect from our coaches, myself and Jenna, generally we're not your swing coach. We assume that everybody that's trying out for the team is working with a professional in town, one of the academies or at one of the clubs, and we do not have the time or the inclination or want to get mixed in with what your swing coach is trying to do with you. We would generally leave that conversation. If I see something, or if Jenna sees something that we think might be helpful, we'll generally contact the swing coach and say, hey, we noticed that your player, here's what we think, and maybe you can communicate that to them if you want. And so we usually have good relationships with all those folks. But the golf team is not a place where we are going to be working on your swing like you would in a lesson. So that being said, what the heck are we doing? Well, we're mainly teaching you how to play better. We're trying to get you to play as a team. We're trying to get you to understand the things that we feel are most important in team golf to give us the best opportunity to win. And in team golf, we're not, as opposed to individual golf, we're not necessarily focused on an individual score. And that's kind of, golf is this individual game where most of the year, all summer long, you're grinding it out on your own. Your score is your score. You place, according to the deal. Team golf is different. We don't need everybody to be great if everybody played their best every round, but that doesn't happen. We have to take the 4 best scores out of our 6 for our team score, and we don't know where those scores are going to come from or what they're going to be. And so we focus mainly on teaching you how to maximize every round to give you the best score that you can have for that day. That's a great individual goal too, but it's more important in the team aspect or the aspect of team golf, that we're not wrapped up in ourselves and whether it's our best day or not. Your job is to do the best you can for however many holes you've got left, because you don't know what score is going to matter in the end. It might be your worst day, but it might be just enough for the team to win. And if you cash it in, it can have a detrimental impact. So we're trying to teach you how to play better, and that includes mainly short game course management. Those are really, really the areas in terms of playing the game that we can feel like we can really impact your play for the better, not only in the team, but you can take it on to individually as well. Bringing the team together to reach our team goals and kind of putting aside our egos to a certain extent. That's our job again to recognize when we see somebody that isn't living up to that and trying to figure out a way to get them going. Um, the biggest thing in that we also work hard on is attitude. We look at how are we approaching playing the game to give us ourselves the best opportunity to do well. And in many cases, that is strictly what kind of attitude are you bringing to the game, and how do you deal with that, the adversity that you're absolutely going to encounter as you play the game of golf. How are you dealing with that? And that's an intangible that is probably the biggest thing that can make a difference especially in a tight match, is who's going to keep their cool, who's going to not get wound up in things they can't control, who's going to get wound up in thinking about the outcome of or getting too far ahead of themselves or living in the past. And so we really work really hard on those aspects of the game, of playing the game. Um, the other my expectation um, from players is just overall behavior. I expect you to show up on time. I expect you to be respectful of other players, of competitors, of coaches, of the course personnel. Where all these courses give up their practice facilities and courses to the schools. And we need to take really good care of the golf course and thank everybody and pick up your range baskets and don't be a nuisance and all those kinds of things. So I expect really, really good overall behavior when we're at the golf courses. Sportsmanship is huge for me. I'm truly believe that once you can respect good play from others, you tend to be able to play better yourself. If you're always begrudging somebody because they played well or they got lucky or whatever, it's not good for your golf soul to do that. You need to respect good play, and if you do that, again, like I said, it's something you should do anyway. But I think in the long run, it also helps you in your golf mind to play better when you respect, because we all know we don't get to play our best round of golf, but rarely, or in a really good round of golf, even very rarely. Where most of golf is kind of a middle ground. It's trying to grind out a score that maybe isn't what we wanted, but it's the best one that we've got. And to do that, anybody understanding that. Anybody that plays a good round of golf deserves some respect. Preparedness. I do expect that you come and your equipment is clean, your clubs are clean, that you've got all the things that you need, ball markers and tees and gloves and your weather gear. We play under a wide variety of conditions, and so it shouldn't be something where you're out there and you're caught off guard, that you don't have a piece of outerwear if it gets cool, or a rain jacket if it starts to rain, or where's your umbrella. So preparedness is a big deal, and it's one of these intangibles that can make a difference in any tournament, but particularly at state. Being able to win all of those things that under the hood. And preparedness is certainly one of them. Being prepared. I do expect that you understand and try to understand and grow in your knowledge of the rules of golf. I'll have players edition rule books for everybody. And really, I mean, many a tournament has been won or lost based on a poor understanding of the rules by a player. And it's just it's not something that we want to happen, to look back and think that we lost an event or whatever because we didn't know a rule. So we'll work on basic rules during practices, but it is incumbent upon you to, on your own, understand the basic rules of the game. And we'll go over kind of maybe those top 10 things of what you need to do some point early in the season. But you need to do that. Pace of play. We do not want to be any part of a group that's slowing up play. Again, for two reasons. One, it's just not right. I mean, we have to keep up with the group ahead of us and play, not hold back the people behind us. But it also, in a self-serving way, it's bad for the game. It's bad for our performance if we're out there and anybody knows that who's been in a group that's had the mean coach or rules official come up and tell them they're behind and need to speed up. It creates tension and it creates a lot of times poor performance. And so we learn to play at a proper pace, and we never cause that problem within the group that we're playing in. Etiquette, taking care of the golf course, fixing your ball marks, repairing divots, raking bunkers neatly, all those kinds of things. Caring for the golf course says a lot about who we are as a team. And so I expect your golf etiquette, helping people out, being still while people are hitting, understanding where to stand on the putting green. If you don't know these things and you're young, we'll try to impress them upon you. But it is again incumbent upon you to understand what's expected from you on the golf course, and there is some of that in the rule book that you have. I've got the Google form for caps. We sell our Gorman branded Ogroji golf caps. Please get that into me so that I can order the right amount of caps as soon as possible. We'll be going over the uniforms. We'll give a uniform shirt to the JV team, and we usually get a shirt and a piece of outerwear for the varsity, and we usually have a shirt left over from the year before. And so we're working on that with the seniors on the varsity team. There is a $100 participation fee that will come out of your tuition invoice. That's just to help pay for bags and materials and things like that. We will have the Bishops Open is later in August, and the boys golf team has always participated by taking the whole sponsor signs and putting them out on the course and then bringing them back in the next day. And so I will work with the boys to get that done. It's usually that last full weekend in August. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen. Wish I could have seen you all in person. I am feeling quite a bit better later here in the day than I felt this morning. Still pretty cruddy, but I should be good to go by next Monday. And look forward to seeing you all very soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out either by phone or email or text. And I look forward again to seeing everybody soon. Thanks.